he is. Can we hear him? Yeah, I can hear you laughing.
Okay, good.
We're just talking about
shut everything down and start over again.
We're talking about the taste of impending diarrhea.
Oh, that's the worst.
Right? Can't you? There's that certain flavor. It's usually halfway through that last beer where you go, God damn it. God damn it.
That was one too many.
God, that was the straw that.
Damn it. That was the beer that shit the bed.
Yep.
How you doing, Mr. EVS?
I'm doing okay.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. It's been mostly a lucky day. Lucky couple of days. We'll say that. How come look, it's backwards. How do I get the oh man.
Are you backwards? What are you talking about?
Yeah, like on mirror image here.
Not on us. No, I can read your signs. Really? Yeah, Cyberfrog's the right way.
Okay, good. It's just me.
So we've been having a lot of fun over the last, I don't know how many years this has been that we've been that since Vito involved everyone in Comicsgate.
Oh,
in the war of the comic books.
Why did he do that? What is Vito even doing? He's not a comic book guy. He has no business here. He showed up and caused all kinds of problems. Vito's presence in Comicsgate caused about 1/3 of Comicsgate to defect, and he isn't even Comicsgate.
He's just built like the comics book guys.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. All I hear is Vito is Ethan's best friend now. He is allowed.
I hear that too.
And pedos, and I barely know him. Get him out of here. I don't care about Vito.
It's the worst thing to be
I love it.
Oh, it's funny, man. I see your enemies are even dumber than mine. When I see the stuff you go through, I'm like, man, that is really dumb what that guy's doing. That's I don't know if my enemies are that dumb. And I thought they were dumb, but that's the new level.
I'm dumb. How can my enemies be dumber than me? They should have well, listen, I mean, your enemies are dumb, but you're fairly smart. I am dumb. I'm definitely low IQ Jersey trash. And yet I got people from all over the world who just kind of fucking step on rakes and landmines in front of me. They're trying to get me. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But
I don't get it either, but you can see it coming a mile away. It's so weird.
Oh, it's fun. I love it.
I don't know. I wasn't planning on jumping right into it, but your buddy, God, what is his name? Dan Fraga. Johnny and I were talking about it before the show. He decided to film himself and his children simulating a blowjob to hurt you. He got going down the highway at 70 miles an hour. He holds up his camera to him and his little children, and they all go 1, 2, 3, throat goat, and the little kid in the back is pumping his fist into his mouth, and then doing some crazy move that I've never seen with the balls. He's like really pounding the balls. I don't want to show it. Honestly, because I feel so bad. I felt so bad seeing it, and he's got this. I know that guy's your friend, but he's got this he's got this rictus grin staring back at the camera like the clown from Spawn as this kid's just deep-throating an invisible man in the backseat. And I'm going, no, this is so bad. What are you doing? Delete it. And I'm like, doing the silent prayer, like, please, nobody post it with the kids. But you know they're going to do it forever. And
that sticks with you. I mean, that's something that's going to follow him around forever. And the worst thing is that he and his wife, the mother of those children, don't seem to understand what they did wrong. They're just like, what? It's a dick joke. The kids all know dick joke. There's a kid in a car seat back there going, throat go.
Yeah, it's like a 2-year-old kid in a car seat yelling, Ethan Sciver is the throat goat. It's so. I didn't think the week could get any worse after Eric's meltdown, but
Eric is funny, man. Eric's having a good time. Well, first of all, Eric loves the throat goat thing because Ice on 3 is a catastrophe, And if you're watching what Eric's doing, and I know that you are kind of somewhat, it's taking up, your peripheral vision at least. If you're watching what he's doing, like, he's putting out all of these comics. He's just flinging, like throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what'll stick at this point. None of his books are funny. And I happened to say on one of my Trashcast episodes, I said, ISOM is it, man. ISOM 3 is the big, that's the big big weapon that you've got in your arsenal. So if you want to pull out ISOM 3 and fun, that's going to, summertime, big blockbuster, you're going to do well. He'll probably get to $1 million and over $1 million on ISOM 3.
Yeah.
And Eric, 2 days later, he launched ISOM 3. And I know he listens to my show. He can talk about how he wouldn't take my advice when it could have helped and we could have all been friends.
Yeah.
But now that, we're bitter, embittered enemies, or at least I think he's definitely my embittered. I think he's funny.
Yeah, it goes one way. No, of course.
Yeah.
It's everyone's mad at him only.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm loving all this. Now that he's angry with me and he can't just come to me like, yo, bro, what do you think I should do here? He's just listening to my show spitefully and then doing what I say anyway. Dick, I told him to shave his beard and he did.
He did. I saw that too.
The next day, I'm
so
like the
funny.
father he never had. I'm a proud papa of my boy Eric. So my son, proud of you. Eric, by the way, I'm proud of you for watching this.
I gotta find
I'm proud of you.
Statue too. Here's the
show the statue.
Here's the Yaira statue. The eyes, Johnny. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like the eyes are pointing the wrong way. Like a wall-eyed, reverse, cross-eyed.
That is
Brandon in the warehouse did the corrections on the paint.
I'm doing my best. I'm surrounded by assholes.
That's hard to look at.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm having trouble processing this.
The teeth are outlined.
Yeah.
The teeth.
Yeah. I just saw that and went, that is a hideous. And that's just, that's, well, I'm not going to criticize. That's hiring a poor factory. You've got to have these, Chinese slaves, like carefully, you got to tell them what to do. You got to go through it and say, these paint steps are very important. Do not paint the teeth to look like a fucking jackass. Don't do that. Whatever you do. And you send it back. They give you samples and you send it back over. Like I had to do that with my Heather Swain action figure for my Cyberfrog toy line.
Yeah.
They were doing all kinds of weird shit with her face. And I sent it back 8
like what?
times. Well, they gave her doll eyes, like just white with like a little dot in the middle. I said, no, ladies.
Wait, I have that figure. They give this one.
Ladies. I had to send it back a bunch of times because I knew they painted her lips too thin. I'm like, no.
That's not how white women look.
That's correct. She's Caucasian. I know that you think that we have big cartoon round eyes over here, but like,
open the eyes up. There's still little dots in them.
So, you have to send it back over and over again. That's called QC, quality control. And Eric doesn't know those letters.
No.
Quality control, not a thing.
It's been so funny, man. All this stuff, even Riley getting arrested. It sucks for him, but it was the whole thing was so funny to watch unfold.
Riley's a good soldier because who cares? If Riley does go to jail over this, who cares? Riley doesn't even care. I don't think Mint Salad cares.
No.
So it's funny to see him just kind of be like, I don't care. I'm going to take this all the way to trial. We'll take it to the Supreme Court, if we have to. I don't really give a fuck. And then how that all ended up was all in his favor. He played his cards perfectly there, perfectly.
And then he came back, and his return stream was he played this video, this epic video to lead into his stream, and Mint, one of them fucked up the audio, so it was totally mute when they came back, and it's Mint just how she looks like she's just talking, total silence, and then you can see the realization that they know the audio's fucked up, and Riley comes in shouting like the honeymooners, and then she's shouting back in total silence, like an old time movie.
That was the funniest bit of anything I've ever seen in my life.
It was so funny.
They're great.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What's the deal? Why does everyone melt down around you? I really don't get it. It's just so you're such a I mean, I'm not gonna say you're a nice guy, but I don't know what makes them all trip out and melt down. It's like one after the other. It's so crazy.
I wonder about it. I truly, I don't know. Like, I honestly, I mean well. So I think about this all the time. I talk to my wife about it. Like,
That's what I meant. You mean well.
I mean well. Like, I'm not out to hurt anybody. My intentions are entirely like, hey, I got canceled from the comic book industry. I have all this clout. I've got fans. I've got a YouTube channel, and I've got an audience that's like, you want to sell us some comics? We'll buy your comic books. I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Would
it's
you also
really
buy?
cool. I didn't know that. Having kind of seen all this go down over the last year or two or whatever, it is really cool
Mhm.
how dedicated your fan base is to support comics, and you have them on to promote their stuff, and they buy it. They support it. It's really cool.
I love my fans. I love my audience. I love my backers. My customers are great. And the fact that they're willing to kind of go, Vito's comic, you want us to buy Superkill? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I love them for that, because that's what Comicsgate is supposed to be. So
Yeah.
basically, all you have to do is come on the show. If you're funny, if you've got a comic book that looks halfway decent, come on the show and you do this. You do a little banter, you do a little whatever it is,
Yeah.
as often as I'll let you come on. And then you're going to do way better. The problem with doing comics right now, in the indie space, is that not everybody's Eric July, not everybody's me. Most people don't have big platforms of people who are just like, yeah, what do you got? You got to promote your comics, and there's no way. Like, there's no way to do it.
Yeah.
YouTube is the best way, and I'm pretty good. I'm a good carnival barker, if you want to call me that. I can sell. So I'm happy to do that for people, because it's kind of like, I feel like my audience made me a millionaire.
Yeah.
And, I should be in the gutter, like just the way that, my life kind of went, being kind of kicked out of comics for my politics. So I need to
Yeah,
pass
it's
that
funny
on
how that
somehow.
works, huh? Just the little decisions here and there, and now you're on top of the world versus just like totally destroyed,
But it's
isn't it?
karma. I mean, this is the thing. It's just endless karma. It's like, so you get that, you pay it back. So I'm trying to help a lot of the professionals who are also either blacklisted or just too old. They can't get work anymore, because that's the
Yeah.
way the comic book industry is. And when I started doing that, a bunch of kind of like indie nobodies, amateurs, kind of started hitting me up and going, people are talking about how you're helping all of these big professionals, but we were here first in the indies thing. I'm like, dude, we have 40-year careers. What are you talking about? We were here first. We were
Yeah,
here
your
first.
credits
People
go
recognize.
way deeper than I thought. Like I don't know, I was watching your intro video or something. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the Justice League movie. Wait a minute, that's the other. These are a lot of credits that are
Yeah.
stacking up here. Can you
Yeah.
give me like I don't know, like the top 10 or something?
Oh,
All this
like,
has gotten me, honestly, all this has gotten me back into comics. I was reading, my wife's making fun of me last night because I was reading Invincible.
yeah.
Just because I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I don't know. I remember reading comics. We'll get back into it.
Invincible by Robert Kirkman. Robert Kirkman is my idol in a lot of ways in comics, in the sense that, like, that guy knows how to promote himself. He started with Walking Dead and Invincible, and he's like nearly a billionaire now. I'm quite sure.
I
Like,
didn't
that
know
guy,
that, and I also didn't know
he's everywhere.
how new the property Invincible was. It was like
Fairly new.
yeah, it was fairly new. I don't know. I thought like you had to have been around since the 40s to get a movie, to get a comic turned into the movie. But that show's huge, and it's great.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, once Walking Dead hit, and I was actually, so the reason why I was late to be to the show, I had a barber's appointment for my daughter. So I'm actually talking to my barber about Robert Kirkman just like half an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I got to have dinner with him before Walking Dead hit. So I was at this Image dinner meeting where they were trying to buy a contract with me and a couple other artists, and Robert Kirkman was there. And I just started reading his book, and I was like, Walking Dead is great. Like, that should be an HBO TV show. Did you ever
Really?
think about that? Did you ever think about going on HBO? And he said, HBO, huh? Well, there's something, you'll see. So he already had that kind of thing in the works, but he was a
Yeah.
really, really nice guy who basically just gave me the secret to success, to victory in comics and indie comics, which I carry with me in my heart and my brain. This guy knew how to become a millionaire in independent comics, and then of course spread out to the wider media.
Yeah.
And I
What was
love
the
the guy.
secret?
It's too complicated to just go. It's business
Yeah,
stuff, but
yeah.
it's about keeping your stories in print all the time. Like you put it out, the opposite of what Air July is doing. Actually, you
Yeah.
put out your books in short runs, you sell them through, you reprint them again with new covers. You always keep your books in print and available for collectors and for newcomers. So, that's what he did with Walking Dead. Walking Dead #1 has a zillion covers. In fact, I did one of them. I drew one of the covers to
See,
Walking
that's
Dead
what I mean,
#1.
man. Like
crazy, yeah.
when I say deep credits, like no fucking way. That's like a serious mark. And
Yeah,
like
I'm proud of that. Yeah,
yeah.
it's neat. But
Um,
yeah, I mean, I worked I did Cyber Frog at first. I went to DC Comics, and DC Comics kind of let me do some Batman, some Catwoman work, and then they put me on Green Lantern, and that's really where I made my mark. I think most of my credits are Green Lantern. Created a lot of characters for Green Lantern. The Flash, the whole Flash TV
did you work
show.
on the Green Lantern with the bowl haircut or whatever that is? I
Yeah,
love
Guy
that
Gardner.
one.
Yeah, I brought him back, and I took away his full haircut. That's the first thing I
Oh,
did.
damn it.
I said he's a jarhead. I can't do this. He's like he's kind of a butthole, but like he's got to be cooler than this. He can't be a clown in that way, like,
Yeah.
visually. So I gave him a nice high and tight haircut, like a Marine would have. And
Yeah.
he became very popular again. Guy Gardner became great. And then as soon as I leave, this is what happens. They give him back the stupid bowl cut and put him in a movie. It's going to be a disaster. It's going to be terrible.
The bowl cut's not working on Nathan Fillion. I loved it.
He's not Guy Gardner anyway. You know who Guy Gardner is? Guy Gardner is Biff from Back to the Future.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, if you could get him, go back in time and get him or somebody exactly like him to be Guy Gardner,
Yeah.
you got the character perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you were at the Image. You were at the Image dinner and you met what was it?
Robert Kirkman, creator of The
Kirkman.
Walking Dead. Yeah, and I just had that one. It was me, two other artists. It was me, Dave Finch, and Steve McNiven, and we were shopping ourselves around. Comic book fans will know those names. They're big name artists.
Yeah.
We were shopping ourselves around as a package deal to Image, Marvel, DC, Boom Studios, who like everybody. And Image sat us down, and we were going to be the first group of artists that they actually paid a salary. They weren't going to do that for anybody else. You have to pay Image to get published by them, and then their clout is what eventually pays you in royalties. But they were actually going to pay us a salary. So that negotiation dinner where I was just like, I don't want to work with Image, but I do want to sit here and talk to Robert Kirkman all night. And that was what I remember from it. So it was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That guy's a hero. He's amazing creator.
What is he doing now? Just invincible all the time?
Yeah, he's just a Hollywood guy. I'm sure he can walk into any room and get any TV show, any movie made. I'm sure he's got that kind of clout right now, that kind of power.
I saw him saying this comic was made by dumb white guys in the early 2000s. Like, oh man, come on, you don't have that kind of money yet.
He might be. I just assume everybody around me all the time is a leftist. I mean, I swam in those waters for so long. It's like a warm puddle of AIDS when you're in comics. You're like in this.
I mean,
constantly.
I think you kind of have to be to like get by in a creative field, just because being like it's just non-confrontational. Like the
everybody's passive aggressive. Yeah, very feminine. Yeah.
Like if you throw in any kind of confrontation or right wing, like I don't know, ideology or instincts, then it kind of fucks everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't know what to do with me. I'll tell you that. I was like, well, I'm just going to be like you, except right wing. Like, I'm going to say exactly what you're saying, but I'm going to do it, as a right winger. And I thought that was fair play, but man, they really didn't know what to do with me. They got rid of me pretty quick.
Who's that? Image?
No. DC, the entire comic book industry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm blacklisted. I'm thoroughly blacklisted.
Wait, is there any chance you're going to come back? I mean, Cumia's back. If there's anybody that I said it would have no chance of coming back, it would have been Anthony Cumia. There's no way he's going to be on radio ever again, right? And now he's syndicated, like overnight.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that they're trying to get rid of him again. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any interest in it. I really love Cyber Frog. I really love what I'm doing now. There's way more money in it too. I mean, I would never. I would never have $1 million in the bank if I were still at DC. It just would never happen.
Oh yeah.
You know, those guys die broke. Everybody, unless you create something big on your own and go indie,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to die broke most likely, because you got about a 20 to 30 year career span in mainstream comics, and then they go, "We're sick of you. We're gonna get these young kids in who we can pay less money to." Which
Yeah.
is exactly what I did to my warehouse boys too. And I got a warehouse too, Eric. And I got these guys are just like, I need a raise. I'm like, great, see ya. And here comes a new younger kid who will work for, like, you know, what you started at.
You mean you
Makes
guys
sense
aren't a
to me now.
family
No,
at your warehouse?
fuck out of here. No,
How come you don't
No,
take pictures at your warehouse all the time? Like, where's you looking like a tough guy in
I
front of your
haven't made a
folded
music
boxes?
video there yet. Yeah, I haven't
No?
done that. I should make a music video and
I love the Eric stuff. It's so funny. It's so
It's
funny
great.
that somebody would fuck up like just so hard every time, you know?
That's what you're looking at right now, man. All of his behavior right now is ISOM 3's catastrophic failure, because it's all down from there. Like, what else does he have? What's on the horizon? You've got Yellow Flash's piece of shit coming up.
Fuck.
Yellow Flash is going hard at me right now because he knows what's coming. He knows what's going to happen when that book comes out. He knows.
Dude, it's like
Uh,
these guys have read things so they think writing is easy. It just drives me insane. Like, you thought you could just nail it out of the park on your first, all of you thought you could nail it out of the park at your first at bat. And
Mhm.
you just can't. There's no way it's going to be good. There's no way.
They have no respect for creative people at all. Look at what they do for a living. I mean, you know, they run down. There are brilliant people. Like, just, you know, just on your Jurassic Park sequel, like run of the mill popcorn munching blockbuster. There are fucking geniuses, dozens of them working
Yeah.
on those movies,
Yeah.
and they have no respect for their work whatsoever. They're all imbeciles who made another, you know, box office bomb, losers, woke. No respect for these people at all. And that's why, like, when it's their turn at the plate, it's like they haven't learned anything.
No.
You know, they have no humility. They don't know anything about what it means to actually craft a story. And it's embarrassing. You know, Eric July's response to you was what broke me away from all of this.
Oh, when he said that it doesn't matter, it's just the business matters. That's like the creativity doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, Dick, you know, people can go back and watch that video where you first appeared, and I kind of, you know, Eric, of course, is like my son. I'm like the father that
Yeah,
left
of
for
course.
cigarettes and never came back. I'm proud of Eric. I'm
Parliament.
proud of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I'm giving him all the, you know, all the support that I can. But, like, my attitude about him was, this is going to be good for indie comics, because Eric's going to come in, he's going to bring more people into indie comics, and his books, we're going to have to support Eric and just sort of teach him. You know, everybody has to be taught. When I first started, I had all the, you know, I was 19, but I had like all of the confidence, self-confidence to be able to make a comic book. But then I had the humility to listen. And I'm telling you, other pros beat me down when I was a kid. Just like, you know, this shit sucks. Like, what are you doing? Watch this. And they draw over my pages and stuff. And it hurts. But like, my attitude was, I need to have a future in this business. I've got to listen. I got to listen to these guys. They're being mean to me in order to break my ego down. Everybody who wants to be in comics was the best artist in their high school. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you have this ego that comes with that.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, once you get into comics and you're around real, honest to God, creative geniuses on a relative level, you realize that doesn't mean shit. Like, some of the best artists in the world are drawing comics and they're looking at your work now. So I figured we would have to create that environment for Eric and teach him things. And I didn't want to be the guy to do it. I would talk to him about art. But when you came out with your story structure critique that was so basic and fair and direct and honest, and I mean, of course, you know, like, you were doing it to make fun of Eric and the people who bought his book. But that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter what your intention
Yeah, but I
was.
mean, it has to be very, like, I have to be 100% sure that what I'm saying is right, or I'm going to get roasted. So it's
Well,
like,
that's
this
true
is the
too.
most
Yeah.
very basic screenwriting shit possible. I'm not I'm not pretending to be anything more than just very, very basic amateur level stuff, or else I'm gonna get destroyed here.
Well,
So
that's
here you
that's
go.
what you said at the beginning of our interview, you and me just now, was like, why are your enemies so stupid? And see, we're conscious of that. You and me kind of have like the same. We don't want to be stupid to our enemies, so it's like we're going to give them
Yes.
a fair shake. Like when you criticized Eric, because you dislike Eric, and you realize that if you give him poor criticism, rather than it's not good faith or bad faith, it's poor, wrong, incorrect criticism.
Yeah.
You would look like a dummy. You'd look
Yeah.
like I mean, I would have to be like, this is stupid.
This is
Like Dick's
stupid.
wrong. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but instead it was like, no, this is like Eric. Like this is the first basic and fair criticism that I've seen you receive, and his reaction to it was so embarrassing for me. And now it's funny, but at the time, I was like really like hiding my face and cringing because he just had a nervous breakdown over it. He started performing. I think he thought like this was, you're still a YouTuber who's going to go into these theatrical antics and own your haters. But it's like, Dick's a hater, but this isn't the hater material that you're looking for. This is helpful. And trying to explain that nuance to Eric July. I might as well have been doing sign language to like a zoo animal. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, be real careful where this metaphor is
zoo
going.
animal. That could mean anything. That could mean a giraffe. So like he didn't understand that at all. He's just like, you better fucking watch your, like you think you're somebody around here. You ain't shit. And then it's giving me this attitude, like complete of which I should expect, like no respect for creative people, no respect at all.
No, that kind of happened when when everybody wrote these dumb manliness books, like me and Maddox and Tucker Max. Like, remember way back in the day? Was it 2000, early 2000s? Everybody on the internet thought that they were going to become a Hollywood filmmaker or like Hollywood trendsetter, and guys in Hollywood thought that too, but the problem is, all these guys these guys are already famous, so when they come into a new area, they have huge egos. They have no like desire to learn any of it. They have no like genuine desire. It's just wanting to cash in and get a bigger audience. So anytime anybody tries to cross over from like this point of pre-existing fame, they all treat it the same way. Like, okay, I'm here. Where's my greatest? Where's my comic book of the year award? Like,
right, 100%.
He's
waiting
here
for
to
that
learn from me. Yeah.
Eric's waiting for that. Like he's just like at this point he's talking about like normal comic creators as though they're elitists that are gatekeeping him from the Eisner Awards. I mean, it's like, dude, you stink. Like your books are bad. And the thing is, like, again, like I was gonna stick with him and just be like defend him. At one point I was like, I will debate Vito about the merits of ISOM.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I
you
was
could
saying
win. You'd win
stuff.
that. I mean.
Yeah, I would win it. Even now, I would win it.
But even now.
But I mean, I will. Like ultimately, like
God, I can't wait for Super Killer to come out just so the criticism will start. I'm just I'm dying for Super Killer to come out so that the reviews will begin, because that's gonna be Revenge of the Sith, right? That's gonna be when the real blood starts.
I gotta be honest. I read it, and I read half of it. You gave me half of it.
Yeah,
it's good. It's fun. It's like an Oni comic. It's all right.
Yeah.
If you're looking for it to be heinous and retarded, like Yellow Flash's Golden Patriot is going to be, you're going to be disappointed. Like if you're hoping to really roast it. Now the artwork is,
they're going to roast it no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be everyone. It's going to be full assault.
Yeah,
that's why it's going to be so funny.
Yeah, it's going to be funny. It's going to break Vito down. He's probably going to cry again on your show.
The only place to really.
But it's truly not bad. I mean, if we're being honest, the half that I read, and it could go to shit at I don't know. Maybe the second half isn't good, but the half that I read was fairly witty, fun to read, and kind of like this trashy sort of Oni for hipsters. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Superhero deconstruction for hipsters in Portland, Oregon. It is what it is. But it's not horrible.
No.
It's not inept.
No.
It's just it's Vito. You want to read a comic book by Vito? I guess you paid for it. I did. I read it. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I would not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be. I'm not going to get on the Vito hate train just because there's incredible peer pressure to do so. I've never been that guy.
No.
I really have to see evidence that Vito fucks kids, and I don't think he does.
I don't think so either.
I have not seen that. I've seen him say that he does, but that's just not enough. Like I'm not sure if people say like this is me defending Vito. I'm not quite sure that he fucks kids. So there you go.
He might want to because that would really own the conservatives, but I don't think he does. I don't think he could bring himself to do it, even no matter how funny it was.
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Vito. I stuck up for him one time. He sent me a big message. He's just like, I hope I don't let you down. You put your reputation on. I'm like, Vito, do you not fuck kids? Like, just
that's that simple. Stop saying it.
I mean, like if I'm putting my reputation on the line by saying you don't fuck kids, it kind of makes me think you fuck kids. I don't know. I think you don't. My guess, if I were gambling on this, I would say no, but also I'd probably cut my bet in half. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think you do, but I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be surprised.
Right. I'd be like, oh, okay.
You got me. Yeah. You got me, you son of a bitch. I'm willing to get got for Vito on this one. I'll put myself out there again.
You guys are great together. You guys are great.
Oh, thank you.
Such a good charisma. I love the new guy. I can't see him right now. Johnny?
Oh, here I am.
Yeah. Hi, Johnny.
How's it going?
You're really nice, man. We were watching you the other day. All the gay guys in my audience, and there are quite a few are swooning over you. Oh my god.
Oh man. Well, Sean's a tough act to follow. So I'm trying to.
Yeah, he is.
It's a big
He's doing a good job.
Good job, man. Good job. But Vito and Dick have this incredible chemistry where it's just like, I don't know how you tolerate this guy.
He just sometimes he fucking aggravates me so much because all of his problems go back to a couple things. It's like, okay, well, you kind of have to put some effort in to this. He's just like always wiggling out of. He's one of those like toys that just always wiggles out of your grip.
Well, he's caught in the Mario 64 running up the infinite stairs. He needs to go get those more stars where he cleans his house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's just going to keep running up the stairs until he breaks the game finally.
And I can't stop hoping that I just want to. I'm looking forward to Super Killer more than anybody else, but I have to like block it out of my mind. Like, just stop waiting for it. Stop, because it's going to come out. Your frustration is going to come out. Just put it out of your head.
A watched pot never boils. But if you don't watch it, it's never going to come out either. So,
but then he throws shit like, "Oh, it might be out before Hackamania," and I'm like, "Don't say that. That's very close."
I'm under the impression that it's his artist. That's all I think. I keep telling people it's not Vito. Vito's part's done, and Vito even laid it out with stick figures. Like, yeah. And by the way, his artist is barely improving on the stick figures. I just want to say that again. Like, fuck. I mean, I don't know what his artist is doing, but I don't know where he found this person.
I don't know. He's very protective of his artist. He made a big speech that it's not his artist's fault and don't bother him. So, of course, everyone's sending me screenshots of how they're fucking with his artist on Instagram. Like, okay, man, I don't know why you're doing that, but
it's so bad, dude. It's not so bad. He could do better. And it's the same thing I told Yellow Flash. I said, everybody's going to be looking at. See, the thing is, like, if you're a nobody, and nobody cares about your comic, and your comic is at the mercy of a patient audience, that's one thing.
Yeah.
People are waiting for Yellow Flash. People are waiting for Vito. I am. I'm waiting for that shit. People are going to be looking at it. And I told Yellow Flash the same thing I would tell Vito. Like, you got to get the best artist you can get. And I'll help you. I'll help you find someone. But you got to get the best artist you can get, and neither guy did, unfortunately. So we're in for. I mean, when the story is barely competent, and you've got an artist who, about 40% of professional, you're in trouble. Yeah. You're in trouble. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
I think I'll get my first good night of sleep in quite some time once Super Killer's
out.
Does
Oh
it cause you
man.
guys stress? Like, what is it like? I mean, is there any stress involved in you guys waiting for Super Killer and the delay?
It's an excuse for me because then I can just be like, Vito, you got to finish your fucking thing, man. Get your life together. And I know how to finish projects, so I'm not worried about it. It's easy for me to accuse someone else of being bad at something when I finish my work.
Yeah. For me, yes, because I'm like, all right, well, I kind of can't move my head beyond this. First of all, anytime we talk about anything, the biggest comment's going to be, "Where's Super Killer? Where's Super Killer? Where's?" So like, you have to put this. You have to solve this riddle in everyone's mind. It's like a curse. Like he's done like the smile curse on the whole audience. Vito has. He's like half killed himself. So everybody in the audience is now like twisted up inside, which is great for radio, but it's like it becomes this huge weight of like, all right, I kind of can't focus on any other storyline until this one gets resolved.
Yeah. Well, we're sitting.
Why doesn't he show pages? Why doesn't Vito do like a demo where?
Why don't we
guys...
have a black extra large shirt in a Trucks Me shirt in our store? Why doesn't Vito go on Printful and assign the design to an in stock black shirt and put it up for sale? I don't know.
He just doesn't do it. He's not motivated. You know.
Well, then here's the thing, too, is we have Super Killer-based plushies. There's a Vito plushie, and someone else even made Super Killer-based shit, too, but we don't have the... There's a Super Killer lunchbox in here.
Comic. There's a Super Killer comic that's great that somebody actually made.
Oh, yeah, the leather one, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm having a kid. You know that, right?
Yeah, congratulations.
Boy, thank you. You got any...
change your life.
How old? You have a son, don't you?
Yeah, he's 26.
He's 26. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I had him when I was
Millennium
25,
baby.
And yeah, he's a great guy. So he went to when it came time to go to college, he said, "I'm going to take up a trade," and I said, "Oh my God, I love my boy. So what do you want to do? I'm so proud of you. That You're not going to go to college and be some fucking homo." He said, "I want to learn how to fix cars," and I went, "I'm so proud." I'm as proud of Hunter, I think, at least as proud of Hunter as I am of my boy Eric, who started a comic book company. It's my other son. Eric's 37 years old, so I got a 26-year-old and a 27-year-old. Who's black somehow? I don't know how that happened, but
well, I don't know. I don't know how black he is. Actually, I think I'm more black than him. Eric said. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you caught that. Did you see Eric's? Let's play one of Eric's videos before you go to is of Mice and Men. Yeah, you're in a pretty blue liberal stronghold. You got any sun raising advice for me? I already avoided a kindergarten. A neighbor recommended this kindergarten that was expensive, and I hopped on there to like learn about how to apply when the second they're born to get on the waiting list, right?
Yeah.
And it said, here's our curriculum, and the books were like how to raise an anti-racist baby and why black babies are better than white babies. And I was like, I don't think I want to spend money on this.
My advice to you is let your wife do all of the work. Let his mother do all the work. And you show up right around the time that he's old enough to take the ball games. And then double down on that when he's old enough to drink. That's the best. And from there, just just guide him. But you don't have to do much, Dick. I got to be honest with you. It's mostly women's work.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, that works.
The best advice, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do that then. Okay, wait. Let me play this. Let me play this video. I want to play it so you can see it too. I don't know if you can though. UVS.
Let's see.
Whoops. Did that come through?
No, but don't worry about it. I'll hear it and I'll picture Eric in my head. But I'll
Okay.
probably picture him as a puppet because that's how I see him now.
Oh shit! I have puppet videos too. You know what? I want to watch this though.
Yeah, Ripoff Verse is doing a great job.
Yeah, he is, man. You know who else is great? Johnny Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
How's Helephant going?
Helephant's going great. Those guys turn in a page and a half every week, and it's top-notch stuff. The script it's fun to read. The dialogue is punchy. And the two of them are just like the artist and the writer together, just collaborating. Fantastic. I don't have to do much anymore. I did the plot, gave it to them, and they ran with it. So
what is the plot? I mean, he's a hell elephant.
no, the plot is there's a circus, and there's a beautiful mother elephant named Daisy who has a baby elephant. And the guy who owns the circus loves his animals, but he gets in debt with the mob. And they eventually take his circus from him and start beating the animals and abusing them for fun.
Okay.
And they kill the baby elephant.
Oh.
And the mother flips out when she sees this, and she kills a few of the people, a few humans, a few of the gangsters.
Okay.
And they electrocute her. They execute the elephant like they did back in the 1920s. I think they did that in Atlantic City. So she, as they're about to burn her corpse, she bursts out of the inferno, bursts right out of the oven to take vengeance because she remembers. They were laughing. They're laughing at the baby. They're laughing at her.
Okay.
And she comes back to life. Hell, kind of invades, takes over her soul, and she's allowed to get revenge.
Okay.
So she's an undead angry mother elephant named Daisy who just goes around just killing all the people responsible for destroying the circus. And it's Friday the 13th by way of an animal movie,
like Dumbo,
like Dumbo
like
meets
Dark
Freddy
Dumbo.
Krueger. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
That guy, Johnny Rocket, too. He's got the Maniac, too. Have you seen that?
I
Ethan?
did see it. He did send it. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. I don't know why. I think when I get the feeling whenever I read Johnny Rocket stuff that I'm reading something bad. You remember how watching Beavis and Butthead when I was a teenager, I wasn't allowed to watch it, so I would watch it and I'm doing something bad. Or watching Married with Children, I'm like, oh, I know I'm not supposed to be watching this.
You know it's good, but you don't you don't want to believe how you just I know there's something here.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
It's trauma.
Spoil it for yourself. Yeah.
Remember the trauma movies that you would rent because they had just great names? I mean, Toxic Avenger is like the first one that I ever saw. And, it's just over the top violence. It's just people being shitheads and then being killed. I mean, that's what Johnny does. And he's excellent at it. He does fun to read trash that you feel guilty about reading, but it's delicious. It's it's awesome. Fantastic writer.
I don't know. What are you looking forward to I know that you have your Kings show, Ethan. What are you looking forward to this year? Golden Patriot. What else we got?
I'm looking forward to all of it. I guess Great War of Separation just shipped. I don't really want to read that. I don't think anybody did. Look at the sales.
Yeah.
Zalen is a catastrophe right now. Zalen's going to sell even less than
he's like a space male prostitute or something, I think.
The worst.
Zalen?
I mean, let's take Prince Namor, let's mash it up with Wolverine, Green Lantern, and Superman and just fucking call it a comic. It's the most cynical exercise. Just garbage, just trash. And the fans identified it as. So see, that's what's so nice about this is I'm like, nobody's so stupid. They're not going to buy this, and they don't buy it. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to read Ice on 3. I actually do. It's 144 pages.
Isn't that? I was surprised at that. You think they're going to try to fix everything? Because they already fixed a bunch of stuff I said in the first one. Like the killing that bouncer, they turned it into like an energy blast or some shit.
He's still dead. Like there's no fucking. It didn't fix anything.
Yeah.
They just turned his blood blue, but I mean his ribs are still cracked. The guy completely murdered that. But he did listen. Eric eventually listened to you, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like you'd think that he, you weren't getting through to him, but you did. He just didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
No, I just want to see how it all ends. He needs 144 pages to wrap it up. I would just 3 pages. Eric July wakes up in his bed and goes, "Thank God it was all a dream." And so do we. Like, I didn't just give this shithead $700 for these comics. That's great. It's a dream. It is. It's a bad dream. That would be all it takes. 144 pages. I was telling my audience that just as a way to understand what it costs to make a comic book when you're doing almost none of the work, like the artwork, about $1,000 a page is what it costs to make a comic book.
Really?
You gotta pay it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
A writer, penciler, inker, colorist, letterer, about $1,000 on the low end. Okay.
Wow.
So that's $144,000 just for the creative aspect of making that comic.
Yeah.
and then the print run. We all know what the printing costs at this point. It is, Ice on 3 is a catastrophe. So when you see Eric writing these long screeds, blind iteming you and me, you know what I mean? It just,
Yeah.
that's why things aren't going so
Oh,
well.
did you see Eric say that the puppets are gay? And oh,
He
let me
makes
find
them-
this.
Oh
He
yeah.
retweeted somebody going like N-word. Oh man, I can't say it. Look at this. Look at this. Epic Mike said, Nibba, you make puppets. Sit the fuck down. Like, bro, why are you like using a black, like tough gangsta affect to defend comic books against the puppet guy? Like, what are you talking about? Sit the fuck down. Who is this for? And then Eric's, dying laughing, reposting that.
But you don't see that somebody else goes, "Hey, asshole, you made a little doll of a black girl." Did you see that?
No.
I saw that one, yeah.
Let me see that.
It's like a little plushie of Blood Ruth, It's
And it
like
looks-
that's infinitely gayer than puppets.
Oh,
It
Way
looks just as
gayer.
bad as you'd think too.
Oh.
Eric, yeah, it looks exactly like Vito's.
Yeah.
Little Vito here.
I had to yell at Vito about that. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Making a plushie of yourself.
He just likes
What on
making
earth?
things, man. He likes.
No, he doesn't like making things. He doesn't make anything. Well, he'll make anything except the thing he's supposed to make.
Yeah, he likes tchotchkes and toys.
He's in 3D
Um,
printer land now.
And yeah, now he's got himself a 3D printer, so he's really dangerous.
He's gonna 3D print all the pages now.
He's gonna 3D
Does-
himself shut into his house. He's not careful.
Does Vito know plushies are for little kids? And, basically what he's doing is normalizing putting himself in bed with children. I mean, this is not like a great thing with the Vito plushie. I tried to tell him that. Like, stop making plushies of yourself. You're not cute. You're an abomination. You're a horror show. Nobody should want to snuggle Vito.
The ham
Nobody
squatch.
should.
I try to stop him from doing anything that's not like mission critical.
Mhm.
Because everything just falls apart, when you start distributing your attention and efforts on things that aren't mission critical.
Yes.
But I gave up. That's a losing battle. Now I've learned to love the yo-yos and the super killer Tic Tacs or whatever else he's bringing in.
Zen and the art of everything except the comic book.
Yeah.
I think that was a book, right?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, anyway.
Now that pisses me off.
That pisses me off.
I saw that too. That was great. I love Eric's malapropisms.
They're the
People are like,
best.
when are you gonna stop making fun of Vito? I'm like, I would love to, but I can't. Like every day it's something new. Every day there's something new.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't stop, and it's all good. It's all funny. It's all him lying or getting something wrong or failing. It's just hilarious.
Wait, do
gotta
you mean
keep going,
Eric or
Vic.
Vito? What did you say?
No, Eric. not Vito.
Eric. I think
Yeah.
you said Vito.
Oh, did I mean?
mishear
Okay, I
it?
meant to say Eric, not Vito.
I was thinking Vito for what
I think
that's
we
worth.
all
Yeah.
were. I
thought
don't think
it
he's
so hard
ever.
that
When
you
do you
thought
think
it
the
too.
last? What do you think's gonna happen? When do you think the first firing is gonna happen?
It's got to happen soon.
Yeah.
He can't maintain his staff unless he's getting money from somewhere else. But yeah, the first firing actually already happened. It was Gabe El-Taib, the colorist.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why that happened was because I told the internet, I told Trashcast why Gabe El-Taib was the colorist. And back in 2022, when Eric and I were talking, he's like, "How you do this? Where do you get, this? How you do that? What do you got? A Sprinter van? That's fucking awesome, man. You got a warehouse? That's fucking awesome. I need a colorist." And I was like, this guy Gabe El-Taib was in Comics Gate. He was driving me crazy. Like he was driving me insane. He was saying I wasn't promoting him enough,
Yeah.
asking me if it was something personal. He was just an annoying guy. And I just kind of said, "Hey, Eric, like I got a colorist for you. He used to color gay Superman."
Oh.
And he did. That's where he came from. He colored the gay Superman book, defected, used that as a point of defection to come to Comicsgate. I said, the thing is, though, you got to pay. He's an important guy. You got to pay him $400 a page to color. Now, just for a point of reference, a good colorist makes about $135, $150 a page.
Oh shit.
So I said, you got to pay this guy $400 a page. And
Word.
Eric said, yeah. So Eric's like, okay, that's no problem, man. Thanks for the hookup. Gabe El Taib at first was like thrilled with me. He was like, holy shit, from my family to you. And I was
Yeah.
like, hey, man, like, good luck. Get the fuck away from me. So he went over with Eric. And everything was fine until Gabe started deciding to talk some shit about me, like online. He was
Oh.
doing the same kind of blind item thing. So I said, let me tell you a story about what I did to Eric via Gabe El Taib. The next day, Gabe was talking about how he had to move on from Rippaverse.
It's an amicable split.
Like fucking
What's
clockwork.
wrong with these people? Why can't they just be quiet and work? It's so.
I don't know, man. Like biting the hand that feeds is like all you had to do was not say anything.
All you had
That's
to do
it.
was not make a video of your kids giving an imaginary blowjob. Like that is
That would have
just.
been great.
It's just not a good idea.
That's all, man. Just
Didn't
be
you have
normal.
anyone to run this by around you? Like, obviously, your wife is not someone you want to run it by, but anybody else, man?
Mm-mm. He was surrounded by more people like him who were like cheering him on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who these guys are, man. And that's why Trash Cast continues. That's why the Dick Show continues. That's why Biggest Problem in the Universe is hilarious. Because
Cyberfrog
of
3,
these people.
too. You got to plug that, too, before you go.
Oh,
I'm
please.
sorry
Oh,
for-
thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination on Indiegogo. And maybe, I don't know if you have a link that you can share somewhere on this video, but
I will.
if you guys could look that up on Indiegogo, Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination. We just hit $800,000. Now, here's why this is important.
That's amazing.
Okay?
That's wild.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm thankful to everybody. My comics are actually good. That's the first thing. Second thing is,
Hell
and
yeah.
they're not just good, they're great. Okay. But the second thing is that this is Cyberfrog 3, and it's at 800,000. I'm about to release 3 new covers, the last 3 covers that were promised on this campaign, variant covers that might push it to $1 million. This will be the first book. This will be Cyberfrog 3 hitting $1 million for the 3rd time running.
Oh,
First
okay.
2 hit $1 million, past $1 million. This will be coinciding with Ice on 3, which will be the first issue of Ice on that doesn't break $1 million. So,
see, the story is important. You see? You see how important the objective and this plot and the motivation of the story are?
no, I don't need it. 800,000 is a lot. And listen, I'm making the book. The book's great. You know, I promise you it's going to be a great story. But wouldn't you also like to laugh? And is that not worth $25
That's
to
worth
contribute
$25.
to Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination on Indiegogo to help push that campaign and that comic book to $1 million, while Eric, for the first time, is unable to hit $1 million on his book. Cyberfrog 3, $1 million. Ice on 3, not $1 million. And it's looking like that's the way it's going to turn out. But definitely your audience could help. And I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I read the second one. You sent it to me, and now I'm sucked in. So I'll be picking the
Amazing.
3rd one up. And looking forward to more. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for calling in. And thanks for the really hilarious year.
You too. I love it. We're having fun. That's what it's all about.
My fiance said when all this started, she's like, I don't care about. When it started, she said, I thought there's no way I'm ever gonna care about this Eric July stuff, but now I'm totally sucked in. It's just, it's so stupid and funny, and everyone's having such a good time.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me, guys. You have a great night, and I'll come on again next time. Invite me anytime.
Yeah. Same.
Amazing.
See ya.
Cheers, Ethan.
Okay. There he goes. Cyberfrog 3.
Exciting.
$1 million. How
Third.
about that? $3 million.
Third time's the charm.
Oh man. I wish I could draw.
I'm glad I can't draw. I'm so glad I can't
You have
draw.
to fight on the internet all the time if
Yeah.
you can draw, apparently. That's a big part of it.
Mhm. If you're good at
Um,
anything, you got to fight on the internet.
Here we go. Jimmy says, was I wrong? He did say veto
I
at
think
the
he
end.
did.
And he's screwing up all the time.
But it's okay because he wasn't wrong about either of them, really. So it's like
the
to
only
me-
reason I thought of it is I'm like, I think he meant Eric just because of there's a little bit more venom than there should be
Mhm.
with veto.
that's
That could
yeah.
just be me though. Maybe I put that.
No, well, because again, as you know, as sitting next to this chair that I can. The hydraulic system is noticeably compromised in.
Is that his sweatshirt?
It might be.
Okay.